Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so today we're going to get into something you probably use every single day, maybe without even thinking about it much, your dining chairs. For decades, really, if you wanted that look of luxury or sophistication, just solid good taste. Leather was the answer, definitely. It was kind of the gold standard. But here's the thing, and this is pretty surprising. Traditional leather dining chairs, they're actually kind of fading out. Yeah, I know. Sounds a bit wild, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Something that was such a symbol of elegance is, well, losing its shine. So the big question for this deep dive is, why? Why is this happening? What's bumping leather off the top spot, and what's replacing it?
It really is a fascinating shift. And, the perspective we're getting today is from someone deep in the industry. We're talking over 20 years supplying furniture across Europe. Think Germany, the Netherlands, Switzerland, places with, well, pretty high standards. So this person has really seen it all firsthand, how tastes change, how the whole furniture game evolves. They know what retailers are ordering and why.
Exactly. So our mission today is basically to unpack all that, the practical reasons, the maybe societal shifts, the environmental angles behind leather's decline, and then, of course, explore these new innovative materials that are popping up and really reshaping dining chairs. We think you'll find some surprising stuff here, maybe look at your own furniture a bit differently afterwards. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so if leather used to be king, what specifically is causing it to lose favor now? I mean, my first thought goes to maybe durability, but you're saying it's more than that.
Yeah, durability is part of the picture, but it's more complex. It's really interesting how practicality and, changing values are driving this, one huge factor. The sheer effort and cost of maintaining real leather properly. It's not just a quick wipe down. We're talking regular cleaning, specific conditioners every few months, keeping it out of sunlight, away from heat. Otherwise, it cracks, it fades, it gets stiff. Imagine trying to do that in a busy restaurant or hotel. The manpower, the time, it adds up. It's a big hidden cost.
Oh, absolutely. I can just picture that. Who's got the staff dedicated to conditioning hundreds of chairs? And I've definitely sat on leather chairs that were uncomfortable. That sticky feeling in summer, not great.
Exactly. That's the second major point. Temperature sensitivity. Leather just doesn't handle extremes well. Sticky and sweaty when it's hot, and then surprisingly cold and, well, kind of hard in the winter. That really affects how comfortable you are, especially when you're trying to relax and enjoy a meal. It's not just looks, it's about how it actually feels.
Ugh, sticky leather chairs in August. Definitely the worst. Okay, but you mentioned something even bigger, maybe more significant. Environmental concerns. This sounds like the real kicker.
Yeah, if you look at the bigger picture, environmental awareness is huge now, and regulations, especially here in Europe, are getting much stricter. Producing genuine leather is very resource intensive. Think about the land, the water for the animals. And then the tanning process itself uses some pretty harsh chemicals like chromium. That often leads to water pollution, and the whole thing has a big carbon footprint. This isn't just a fleeting trend. Consumers and companies are genuinely changing their values. Things like plastic taxes, stricter packaging rules, they're actively pushing buyers to look for greener options.
Gotcha. So it's way beyond just comfort or cleaning. It's a conscious choice tied to values, influencing buying decisions on a massive scale. Okay, so if leather's fading, what are these superior alternatives stepping up? What meets these modern needs for sustainability and practicality?
Well, the main players right now are these high-performance fabrics. We're seeing a lot of advanced polyester blends, other synthetic textiles too, and suppliers are really putting them through their paces, testing for durability, color staying true, abrasion resistance, even breathability. For instance, it's pretty common now to see fabrics scoring over 25,000 rubs on the Martindale test. It's way above the old benchmarks.
Wow, okay, 25,000 rubs. That number sounds impressive, but what does that actually mean? Like for me, sitting on it every day, how does that compare to my old leather chair or what a restaurant needs?
That's a really good question because, the number itself needs context. So think about standard home furniture fabric that might be rated around, say, 5,000 to 10,000 rubs. Even stuff labeled commercial grade might only hit 15,000, so 25,000. That means these fabrics are incredibly tough. For a chair used daily in a busy house or, even in a restaurant setting, that kind of resistance means it can handle years, maybe even a decade plus, of people sliding in and out without looking worn out or thin. It really is almost bulletproof for everyday wear and tear.
Okay, that really puts it into perspective. Practically indestructible then?
Yeah.
And easy to clean, you mentioned. What about comfort? That was the leather issue.
Right. These performance fabrics breathe much better, and they don't get wildly hot or cold like leather, so way more comfortable year-round. And spills. Many have treatments now where liquids just bead up. You can wipe them right off without leaving a permanent stain. Huge plus for families or, yeah, those busy commercial spots.
That sounds amazing, especially for anyone with kids or just clumsy like me with coffee. But okay, beyond just being tough and cleanable, what about materials really focused on the eco-friendly side?
Oh, absolutely. Sustainability is a huge driver here. We're seeing some really cool stuff like blends using organic cotton and recycled polyester. And that recycled polyester often comes directly from things like plastic bottles. So not only eco-friendly, but they often carry certifications like Oeko-Tex Standard 100.
Oeko-Tex Standard 100.
Oh,
Okay, that sounds official. What does that actually mean for, the person buying the chair?
it's a big deal. Oeko-Tex isn't just some greenwashing label. It's a global, independent testing system for textiles. Basically, it means every single part of that fabric, the thread, the weave, everything has been tested and found free of harmful substances. So when your dining chair fabric has that certification, you know it's safe for human health. It's even considered baby safe, totally fine for sensitive skin.
Baby-safe dining chairs. Wow, that's actually fantastic. So it's not just about being green. It's genuinely healthier for your home environment.
Exactly. It cuts down the environmental impact massively and helps companies meet their own sustainability targets. Plus, these fabrics come in at like tons of textures and colors now, so you can get pretty much any look from super modern to really classic.
Yep, great for design choice.
Mhm.
Okay, but what if you still want that really luxurious feel, but, not actual leather?
Yeah, for that more upscale vibe, materials like velvet and even suede, both natural and synthetic versions, are making a huge comeback. Velvet just has that soft, rich feel, deep colors. It instantly reads as sophisticated. And nowadays, it's often treated to resist fading and wear, which used to be a concern. Suede offers that refined, tactile luxury, too. And again, the modern versions are tested to be way more durable and easier to clean than you might think. Much more practical for daily life now.
I do love velvet. It just feels so plush and comfy. Okay, and for people who really like the look of leather but want to skip the real deal for all the reasons we talked about, what are the go-to synthetics?
Right. For that leather aesthetic without the downsides, high-quality synthetics like PU and PVC leather are really strong options. Just to break it down simply, PU, that's polyurethane leather. They basically coat a base fabric with polyurethane. It tends to be softer, more breathable, feels pretty close to real leather, actually. It's great for places like restaurants because it's tough and easy to clean. PVC, polyvinyl chloride leather, uses a different plastic. It's generally even tougher, more resistant to chemicals, so good for really high-use situations. Maybe a little less breathable than PU, though.
So you get the look, none of the maintenance headache, and it sidesteps the environmental issues of real leather.
Yeah.
Makes sense. What does this all mean for someone walking into a furniture store now?
It means you've got way more choice. And those choices align better with what people seem to want now. Practicality, sustainability, comfort. These synthetics also save you money compared to genuine leather. They're easier to look after. And they tick the boxes for environmental regulations. So, yeah, kind of a win-win. And it's not just the fabric, The insights we've seen also point to big improvements in how the chairs are actually built. Things like better welding, using mixed materials for frames.
Well, that's a really important point. We've talked a lot about the upholstery, what we sit on, but the structure underneath is key.
Yeah.
Why are those improvements so significant?
Well, it all comes down to making the whole chair last longer and feel more stable. Better welding techniques, for instance, mean stronger joints, less wobble, less chance of breaking down the line, and using mixed materials lets designers pick the best stuff for each part. Maybe a strong metal frame for sheer durability, but with elegant wooden legs, or even frames using recycled plastics, which are lighter and eco-friendly. So it's not just a comfier seat, it's a chair that's physically going to last longer, need fewer repairs. It improves the whole lifespan of the product, really.
It definitely sounds like there's a serious focus on quality and making things last, alongside the sustainability push. Our expert source even mentioned specific testing and certifications. Could you give an example of how that testing makes for a better chair for us?
Oh, absolutely. The commitment to quality is clear from the investment they make. The company we're drawing from uses, I think, 12 different industry standard testing machines. Take static load tests, for example. This isn't just, dropping a weight once. They test to make sure the chair can hold a significant amount of weight safely, way more than normal use without bending or breaking. That's crucial for safety, obviously, but also ensures it stays sturdy and comfortable for years. And apparently, every single chair goes through quality control, sometimes with people wearing video recorders for transparency. They've got ISO 9001 certification too, and use eco-friendly packaging like honeycomb paper to meet those European standards and even cut down shipping costs. All these details show it's not just talk. These changes are backed by real testing and performance standards.
Wow, okay. So putting it all together, something is every day as a dining chair is changing so dramatically because of things like sustainability, comfort, practicality. It makes you wonder, where else are we seeing this? Where else in your daily life might you start noticing similar shifts? How are our demands as consumers wanting things that are more responsible, easier to use? How is
Yes.
that reshaping whole industries all around us? Definitely something to keep an eye out for, these quiet revolutions happening in the products we use every day. Thanks for diving in with us today.